Hello, everybody. Rob Cootie here of the MLM Solution. Today is Wednesday. Can you believe it? My gosh, it's hump day already. It's hard to believe. Today's the 18th of August, currently 10:56 and 47 seconds Eastern Standard Time. Hope everybody's doing well. As you know, we go live each and every day, Monday through Friday on 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We stream live to our YouTube channel and our Facebook page. We ask that you join us each and every day, and that you ask our fellow network marketers to join us as well. You can do that by simply sharing our hashtag, which is hashtag the MLM Solution. Once again, hashtag the MLM Solution. And if you go to our website, which is themlmsolution.net, please hit the share button there as well. There's a lot of great information right there on the front page. Easy to navigate, easy to get to the information that you want. Today's topic is going to be the limited growth of a new networking company. What does that mean for you? How does it limit your opportunity to make money? How does that limit the growth of your business? How does it affect your future? So we're going to talk about that, as you can imagine, and much more. Episode number 236, hard to believe already, 236. Today at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to hop off of here, and I'll see you very shortly.
Welcome to the MLM Solution Podcast Show, where you'll learn the facts and hear the truth about the network marketing industry. Here's your host, Rob Cootie and Marie Cannon.
Happy hump day, Miss Marie. How are you today?
It is the middle of the week. I am doing well. Looking forward to the slide into the weekend. How about you?
Yes. The answer is yes. To all of that. All right. We have an interesting subject today, Miss Marie.
We do.
The limited growth of new networking companies. And that can go in so many directions. We're going to cover the most important ones only in today's episode. And they are going to directly affect you and the opportunity that it presents you. We're going to take a deep dive into that in a moment. As you know, we're always going to ask you, please give us a thumbs up if you like what you hear, you understand the points we're making, and how they can help you. We'll say thank you in advance. But when you give us a thumbs up, it's immediate feedback for us. We really appreciate it. Puts a smile on our face. But it also helps us with the algorithm. And speaking of the algorithm, when you share, like, and comment on our various social media platforms, guess what it does? It tells the algorithm, hey, there's people out there that want this information, and it helps us to get this information out in front of more and more fellow network marketers. And you can be a positive impact and a positive influence on our fellow network marketers, no matter where they are in the world, by simply taking a moment to share, like, and comment on our social media platforms. If you go to our YouTube channel, we ask that you subscribe, as well as hit the little notification bell twice. When you do, you get notified when we go live, as well as when we upload new content. All right, Miss Marie, today's going to be an interesting subject. As you know, we are always trying to tie each and every episode together. And this is no different. This is piggybacking off of Monday and Tuesday's episodes, which is awesome. And before we get started, Miss Marie, you want to tell them about our live event?
Yes, we are working on our first live event coming in 2022. Unfortunately, we can't cram it into this year because there's still too much uncertainty with the COVIDs floating about and whatnot. So we are planning for our first live event coming in 2022, and to be on the top of the list, to be notified exactly when that's happening and all the great details surrounding that, go visit MLMmastersacademy.com. That's MLMmastersacademy.com, and fill out that registration form. This is just a pre-registration. There's no down payment required. We're not looking for any money or anything. We just want to be able to have you on a list, so as we come out with details, you will be among the first to be notified. And then the first 100 people who do register and attend our event, they're going to receive some special VIP treatment. And Rob is one of those. It's go big or go home. So you want to be one of those first 100 that does then register and attend the event, because it's going to be an experience unlike anything else you've seen before. So again, that's MLMmastersacademy.com. Go fill out that registration link. Take you a minute, maybe a minute and a half if you're a hunt and peck typer like me. And we don't spam you. There's not going to be any extra emails or anything like that. Strictly notification about our upcoming event coming live in 2022.
I look so forward to that, Miss Marie.
I know.
You want to take that one too, please?
Well, and then we have our 5 Simple Steps program. We talk about it all the time. We've got an image up here, shows step 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And you can find all those details at 5, the number 5, simplesteps.net. Go grab that information, download it. You'll be able to see exactly what it is we talk about in terms of helping you become successful, leveraging the network marketing business model, being a business builder. This is basically what every single one of our episodes goes back to, because somehow it ties back to one of these 5 simple steps. So again, that's the number 5, simplesteps.net. Go check that out.
You did wonderful. Thank you so much. It's such a relief to not have to do it all the time. I appreciate it. All right. With that being said, since Miss Marie did such a wonderful job setting up the rest of the show, today is going to be the limited growth of new networking companies. Excuse me, once again, sinuses. Although I have been really good with sinuses, haven't been that bad lately, so I'm blessed. I'll take one cough. All right. So with that being said, guys, here's the situation. The last 2 days, we've been talking about some really deep subjects in regards to, it's almost at an advanced level. And this applies to everybody. Kind of taking a step backwards a little bit. And Miss Marie, while I'm thinking about it for a future episode, we need to do one of the milestones you want to do. And it really is not a milestone, but we teach people to get that first check, the importance of the first check. We literally have a step-by-step process. Hey, this is how you get people the first check. And getting your new people their first check is absolutely huge. But the next big step, and the milestone, whatever term you want to call it, is getting people getting their paycheck from the network marketing company to cover their auto ship, their 100 PV per month. Does that make sense? That's the next goal. And we talk about so much, I forget about those things. Guys, I'm sorry, but at least you know what's coming up in the future episode. But here's the thing. Those things are important. And Miss Marie and I talk about so much, and there's so much important small details in this business. Like, that's really important, because Miss Marie, how many people say, Maria, if I can't cover the cost of auto ship, I don't know how much longer I can do this. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Your first check is really huge to prove that what you tell them is true and to prove the system works. But the next goal is what? Hey, I need to cover this. I can't afford to do this. I'm a stretch at getting 100 PV per month right now. I cannot maintain this, Miss Marie. This has got to help pay for that. And, it just goes right over our head, doesn't it? You and I, we're so focused on everything else that we forget about those simple little things we need to talk about.
Well, and eventually we get around to it and we figure it out. So there you go.
But that is important. All right. So with that being said, the limited growth of the new networking companies, and as we talked about yesterday's episode, we talked about how the buzz and the excitement surrounding a new company, its growth, the success stories, it's going into new countries, it's going to be coming out with a new product that does XYZ. And so people are excited about that. And people are excited about the comp plan. And so word's getting out in the industry, and people are leaving other companies to come to this company because they got a friend or somebody they admire as part of this new company, whatever the case may be. The pull to go towards this new company is really strong, and a lot of people are coming to it. Okay. And that cannot be replicated by an individual. In other words, Marie or myself cannot create that environment on our own. That is something that is company specific, and it's also time specific, and meaning that even the company can only maintain that for a certain amount of time. All right. And the company's the company's goal is to grow as fast as they can during that exciting buzz moments, because they know when that dies off, that is going to be a real challenge to maintain growth. Right, Miss Marie? It is tough. All right. And they know, and they're going to scramble. And they're going to go into new countries. It's all about momentum. Once again, and Miss Marie, I guess we need to do a show. Your business should mimic the company's. Just about everything you do in your own business is a replication of what the company is doing. Okay. So if you really want to know what to do, just look at what the company is doing and say, okay, that's what I need to do. I need to grow in so-and-so country. I need to do this. I need to do that. Right, Miss Marie? Mm-hmm. Okay. So you don't want to ignore those moments. If they're going to come out with a new product, you say, I got to get behind that new product, even though you're not a product person. Why? Because the pre-launch, big money could be made there. It's part of you making money, to maximizing the opportunity this company is providing you. So we'll do an episode on that as well. Anyway, the point is, the limited growth of a new networking company is something that you really don't want to experience or even talk about or even think about, because you hope and pray that every new company has a bright future, that it's going to grow on a relatively infinite basis. Okay. But in reality, their growth is finite. It's going to come to an end, and it's typically going to be sooner rather than later. History has shown that most new companies are going to experience tremendous growth in their first 3 to 5 years. Once the 3 to 5 year period is over, the honeymoon is starting to get old, and people are starting to look at other companies to go to. People are starting to get tired of hearing about the same old products. The company has gone into all the countries they really can for the most part. So now the buzz and excitement is dying off. And so the company will start messing around with the comp plan. And I don't mean changing the comp plan, but I mean, hey, well, now we're going to give you a Boeing 707 if you reach down it. All right. Imagine having your own 707. They're going to do something to create some kind of buzz. You know, hey, we're going to give you 10 children. You don't have to go through birth. Here's 10 children. Okay. Whatever the case may be, they're going to try to do something to get you excited and to maintain that enthusiasm. Right, Miss Marie?
Yep.
So the thing is that you have to say, okay, knowing that I have limited growth here as far as excitement and momentum, I have to myself mimic the company's mindset. In other words, and without the company even saying it, they're not going to say it publicly. They know 3 to 5 years, right, Miss Marie? That's usually their game plan. Guys, let's just get through the first 3 to 5 years, right? That's what they're trying to do, honestly, behind closed doors.
Well, that's that survival time period, right?
That's right.
Most companies, and these aren't just network marketing companies, but companies in general,
that's right,
typically fail sometimes in those first 5 years.
That's right. And you know what? If you're a smart business person, you're going to say, even if you're starting your own company outside of the network marketing business model, you're going to say what Miss Marie just said. Hey, the first 3 to 5 years, or, okay, our goal is to get through the first 3 to 5 years. But if you get on a roll, every company, just like a star athlete, you go into football and you get with the right agent, the agent's going to say, hey, look, you know what? You're a phenomenal athlete. You've done all this great stuff in college. You got a bright future here in the pros. But let me tell you something. Most of the guys only last 3 to 5 years. Look beyond the guys that have been in this league for 10 years. That is an anomaly. That is not the norm. The norm is 3 to 5 years. Here's what I encourage you, young man. Make as much money as you possibly can in that 3 to 5 years. Stash it away for the future, because you may not be able to walk. And it's no joke. I've known agents. When I was in California, I personally knew agents that represented pro athletes, NFL athletes. Okay, and they expanded into other pro sports as well. I know what they talk about behind closed doors. I know what they're telling them. Okay, doesn't mean they always listen. Okay, I'm gonna tell you that right now. I was around when he was talking to and I'm not going to mention names, obviously, an LA Raider. They were in LA at that time. LA Raider, who was a top running back in the NFL, and he told him, "Hey, you have got." And he listened a little bit, not the whole way. And needless to say, it didn't turn out well down the road. And he was in the league for about 3 years and did really well those 3 years. But the whole point was, Miss Marie, make as much money as you can while you can. And usually the lifespan is 3 to 5 years. You know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
They talk about it all the time. So with that being said, guys, here's the thing. You have to look at this the same way. You join a new company and you're going to say, at the max, I got 3 to 5 years. The company may be around 10 years. Like a pro athlete, they may end up in the NFL. They may end up being in the NFL for 10 years. Well, kudos to them. They beat the odds, and that's great. That's awesome. Okay. That's, once again, an anomaly, not the norm. Here's the thing. You have a situation where if this company sticks around for 10 years, it's an anomaly, not the norm. Most of them do not make it that far. If you look at all the networking companies that are started each and every year, and look who makes it in the 3 to 5 year plan, you'll see that very few of those companies actually make it. Okay. Now, why is that important? Because once again, your mindset, your business building activity has to do what? Reflect the companies. As I said, the leaders of the company, the owners of the company are not going to tell you in public that we're going to fight tooth and nail to make as much money in the first 3 to 5 years as possible. Okay. They're not going to do that. Okay. We're going to try and make as much money as we can off you guys as fast as we can. That's exactly what they're doing. They're not going to say it, but that's exactly what they're doing. Everything they're set up to do is to do exactly that, to make as much money as they possibly can in the shortest time frame that they can, and hope and pray that they'll make it past the 5 year mark. And then they'll deal with that when it comes, because it's a totally different animal past year 5, Miss Marie, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a different mindset for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely, that is. So, knowing that, you have to say to yourself, okay, you know what? I'm going to come in here. I'm going to go like mad. I'm going to use the 5 simple steps. I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to do what Rob and Reed tell me in the podcast. I'm going to learn all that stuff, and I'm going to use those tools, and I'm going to maximize the financial opportunity that this new company is presenting me. And you're ready to go. You're ready to go, and you're out there building a business. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, and at 18-month mark, maybe the 2 year mark, all of a sudden, companies just flatten out the growth, the month-to-month growth, not the yearly at the moment, the month-to-month, because they're monitoring. New companies are going to monitor really closely their quarterly growth because that's how they know, can we make it through another 3-month cycle? Can we make it to the next 3-month cycle? Are we going to be able to make enough money to keep our head above water, right, Miss Marie?
Mm-hmm.
And so they're worried about, at this time, quarterly growth. Okay. And as long as they're able to keep the ahead of the bill collectors, if you will, they're feeling good about what may transpire in the future. But all of a sudden, out of the blue, money becomes tight. Somebody leaves in the front office, whatever the case may be, a lot of variables. The company levels off. And this happens a lot. You go and look at the companies that now exist in network marketing and look at how many of them have been around 6, 7, 8 years. But if you look at their the total picture of their growth curve, they flattened out in year 2 or 3, and there's been very little growth from that point on. Here's why. And they could come out with product after product after product. Product alone does not create excitement. Product alone doesn't create that enthusiasm or any potential growth. Okay, it creates new sales for a short limited time, but it doesn't create any more growth. And you say, well, why is that? Because in order for you to quote unquote grow, you have to go into new countries. Okay. And if you don't have new countries to go into, then you're in big trouble because there's no new markets, right, Miss Marie? You can't get blood out of a turnip, as they say. In other words, you can't keep going to the same well. I'm talking in cliches here, which I hate, but the point is that you can't keep going back to your small distributor force with a new product, hoping to squeeze more money out of them. Okay. The excitement comes from these people changing their lives and having a better lifestyle. And it takes money to do that. If they're not making money, they don't have that lifestyle. They don't have the excitement. They come home and the spouse is saying, what in the hell are you doing? Your check's been the same and it's been low for the past 8 months. It's not going anywhere. Why are you doing this? We don't have the lifestyle you promised us. That's a lot of pressure. Okay. And no matter how much you love the product, no matter how much you love the company or the comp plan, It's time to stand up, being an adult, and say, you know what, she's right or he's right. I need to look at this as a professional. I need to look at this as a business person and say, this is not working. Yes, I've made money, but it has flattened out. It has shown no future at all. There's no growth here. There's none predicted in the future. I need to make a change. Right, Miss Marie?
Absolutely.
There are so many reasons why companies flatten out, guys. A lot of times money gets tight. It takes a lot of money. It takes contacts. It takes a lot to get into a new country, right, Miss Marie? A lot of companies, even though they're making money, if they're barely making $500,000, how can I say this? At the end of their quarter, if they have $500,000 in profit left over, $500,000 sounds like a lot of money to you, but $500,000 doesn't go far in the company. By the time you pay everybody, by the time you do this and that, I'm talking about profits, okay? And now you're going to use that $500,000 to go into a new country. Good luck. You can't get a broker to take your company's products in a new country for a measly $500,000. Their legal fees and their quote unquote personal fees under the table are going to eat up a large portion of that $500,000. And that's not even counting shipping the product there. That's not even counting all the paperwork you got to pay to have filled out, right, Miss Marie? And I could go on and on and on. You're going to have to hire attorneys over there on retainer to represent you and fight or whatever the case may be. And then you're going to have some quote unquote insiders that have connections politically as well as culturally that helps smooth things over, if you will, to grease the wheels, right, Miss Marie? In order, because you got the legal side with the lawyers, you got the political side taken care of. Now you got to do the man who greases the wheels of all that. And believe me, in those countries, it's not. You think that law and order rules? I can tell you that law and order, when it comes to taking companies into countries in the network marketing business model, that is a tough game. It's an expensive game.
Well, and one of the hardest things to predict going into a new country is the timing, because there are so many variables that can mess up the timing as well. So if you have a limited window and a limited chunk of cash to take you into a country, and then it ends up taking longer than you anticipated, that can create some real problems as well.
It can. And so here's the thing, guys. Companies will say, we can't do this. We don't have the money. Okay, let's go out and get funding. They go out, their credit rating's not good enough, whatever the case may be. They can't get the money to expand. And they're like, well, crap, we're stuck, guys. And what are we going to do? Well, we'll come out with another product, a whole new line of products. Okay. So they do, and they have a short spurt of sales, maybe a month or two, and it levels off. And so there's no more excitement. So now the big leaders, such as Marie and Rob, say, you know what? This was a good ride for the past 18 months, but you know what? It's obvious over the last 6 months, things have leveled off, and I'm not getting any return phone calls when I call the front office. And you know what? I can't look my downline leaders in the eyes and say, this is still a great opportunity. If I do, I'm going to be lying, ruin my credibility, and they may not follow me to the next company. So I have to do the right thing and spill the beans and say, guys, there's no future here. Right, Miss Marie?
Yep. Well, and that's where you get into the network marketing hokey pokey, right? We did a whole episode on that. 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
That's right. There it is.
On.
And your downline are going to depend on you to pick the next company. Okay. And then we did an episode on it, so we're not going to talk about that, but that's what they're going to depend on you. And you're going to have that discussion. It's an adult to a child type environment where you say, look, guys, this is what's going on. I've been trying to get answers. I've been trying to find out what we can do. But guess what? The momentum is gone. The excitement is gone. The buzz is gone. That cannot be recreated. It's time to move on to another company. You're more than welcome to join me. I'm going to do my homework. I'm going to make some calls, and I'm going to do as much as possible to pick the right company so that we can go and take our whole business with us. If you want to follow me to that other company. And if you've treated people right, more people want to say, you know what? Rob, I only trust you. Marie, you're the only one I'm going to work with. Guess what? I'm going to follow you guys wherever you go because I trust you guys. You've proven to me that it works. You've helped make a difference in my life, and you guys are awesome to work with. Guess what? I'm going to follow you wherever you go. Other people might say, you know what? I'm done. I had a good time. I made money. I paid off a lot of debt. I'm good to go. I think I'll just take a break. And that's part of the process. That's just what happens. And you know what? You recoup, and you get back at it. Miss Marie, as we, I guess we ought to do an episode on this too. What is your real goal? For instance, here's what I'm saying. You and I joined this company. You and I are veterans, and you and I, we have certain expectations. And let's just say that Rob says, oh, you know what? I'll go back to the industry. I kind of miss a little bit, but if I can't make $1 million, if I can't build a business that's going to produce $1 million in the first 2 years, I'm not going to do it. Okay. Because it's not worth my time. You see what I'm saying, Miss Marie? Mm-hmm. And being able to create that environment, I know that I can do it. But if there's certain variables I can't control, if I'm going to be a professional about it, I'll recognize it and say, $1 million ain't possible here. It's time for me to move on. Right. And here's the thing. You say, well, Rob, you're being awful greedy. No, you know what that tells me? Here's what it tells me. When I can make, $1 million should be the minimum. But here's the thing. If I say, okay, I can see this company giving me the ability to make $1 million in the first 2 years. And, here's the thing. I know the numbers in network marketing. If I can make the $1 million, that tells me that I'll have people in my downline that have a real possibility of making $50,000, $100,000, $150,000, $225,000 a year. You see what I'm saying, Miss Marie? Mm-hmm. It tells me that there's enough growth there that there's going to be some real success stories. And once again, this is one of those inside things, guys, that you got to know the industry in order to know. And I got to have those success stories to promote. Why? Because I need to promote enthusiasm, excitement. Guys, look, I was able to sponsor these people. I was able to help them get off on the right track. And look what they did. They accepted my training. They duplicated what I taught them. And look where they are now. Guys, you got to have those people to prop up. In order for me to make $1 million, I got to teach them, guess what, how to make money too. And it's got to be really good money, right, Miss Marie? Yeah. And hopefully they'll make more than me down the road. But I at least have to get them to that $50,000, $75,000, $100,000 a year thing, right?
Ideally, yes. Yeah. Because it's all about the income, right? That's what really builds the excitement around those success stories.
Right. And, I was able to leave my job, and I now have this great life, and we have a pool in the backyard, and blah, blah, blah. And those stories resonate with people. And people said, that's what I want. It's not about Rob making $1 million. It's about that. Okay. And they really don't hear the money. They know the money that they made provided them the opportunity to have that lifestyle. Well, that's what people want. And when that's gone because of the limited growth of a new company, guess what? There's nothing you could do or say that will get people to believe that that's still possible. They're going to say, well, Rob, you may stay, but I'm gone. There's no money here. There's no future here. I love you, buddy, but I'm out of here. Okay. It's going to happen. So Rob has to take the bull by the horns, as Miss Marie said, the hokey pokey, and start looking for a new company, because I'm going to have that talk, the sex talk. We got to move on. So the thing is that you want to make sure, guys, that if this happens, and it does happen, when a company levels out and they're not going to expand into new countries, and all they're going to do is launch new product or add to the current product line, you're in trouble. And you've got to have the guts to stand up and say, guys, we have got to make this change. But you got to wait a few months. You can't just wait. You have to, if they say, well, hey, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, give the company a chance. I believe in the 3-strike rule, but with me, as I always tell Marie and others, everything already has a strike on them. In other words, they get 2 chances, and then I got to move on. I can't drag my people through it. They're going to start saying, well, Rob is full, and then I'm going to lose my people. My goal is to keep my people. I worked hard to build this organization. I'm not going to give it up because of a company. And we did a story on that too, or a podcast on that too, Miss Marie. The company is not your friend. The company is concerned about one thing, the company. They're supposed to say they care about the distributors, because that's who they make their money off of. Okay. They bring product to the table. You buy the product. Okay. And that creates volume for you. And the company says, oh, thank you so much for creating that volume by buying our product. Here's some money. And oh, by the way, here's a bonus too. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. While they're putting the money in their checking account. Well, you know what? It's a give and take. You say, hey, I'll do this if you give me that. Okay. That's essentially what's going on here. And that is an understood thing. It's on top of the table, not under the table. That is what you're doing. You're trading your time, your effort, your knowledge, your experience for their money. Right, Miss Marie?
Well, yep.
So it's that simple. But when the money's gone, all they can do is maintain. And Miss Marie, when a company loses that growth potential, here's what happens. It gets very dangerous as far as you getting a paycheck, because it just takes one thing to push that company off the side and they file bankruptcy. Now, big companies like New Skin, Mary Kay, Herbalife, et cetera, they have so much money in the bank. They're debt free. They have billions in the bank, if not hundreds of millions, right? And the thing is, Miss Marie, they can live off of the meager growth that they're having internationally. As long as they maintain, they're not digging into the pocket, right? They're just building up more cash reserves. Okay. So they're good to go, but a new company can't do that. They don't have cash reserves. They're barely getting by. They were funded by a third party, and that third party wants their money. If the money stops coming in, that third party's like, hey, I want my money. Well, we don't have it. Well, you know what? That's not my fault. But we can't go into these new countries and create new opportunities. It's not my fault. I want my money. So it just takes something like that for the company to teeter-totter on the brink of disaster. And you don't want to be around for that. Right, Miss Marie?
Preferably not. Sometimes you get caught by surprise with these things, but more often than not, there are some warning signs.
Yes, just like my cat. You hear her, don't you? You see her. This is our pain in the butt.
I saw the tail go by.
She.
Oh.
Yeah. But she don't do that to me. She normally likes me. Hear that voice?
No.
Yes. When she's not happy, boy, she gets that deep voice, and she's like, you know what? I don't like you.
That's like that old lady growl.
Yeah.
Out of my yard.
Yeah. Yes. You're right. So, but she gets upset if she wants to go outside and we don't let her outside. She'll walk around just that deep and just get on your nerves. She'll follow you. Rawr, rawr, rawr. And she'll keep doing it until you let her outside. She's like, she goes outside. So, all right. So, the bottom line is, guys, typically the limited growth of a new company happens within the first 1 to 3 years. Okay. If it levels off, you got to make a decision. To be honest with you, there's really no decision to be made. It's already been made for you. You can't sponsor new people and look them in the eye and say, you can have an incredible lifestyle. Look, your story, your music to the ears message, and your story to them is that you can change your life. You can have an incredible lifestyle with this company. We can do that together. And that's not the case. So you're lying to them. You're misleading them. Okay. And no matter how much you might like the company, the products, whatever, no matter how much success you've had in the past with this company, I don't care if your brother's running the company. The bottom line is you got to make a choice. You don't have to be mean about it. You just have to make a professional choice. And that is, hey, this is not working, not only for me, but for my downline, which is more important. I can't look him in the eye and keep endorsing this and this opportunity. And if you noticed, we're not talking about product at all. What are we talking about? Opportunity. And what is the opportunity? The company is no longer expanding for whatever reason into other countries. New opportunities. Keyword opportunity. That is what you have. We promote that all the time. We have a product, opportunity or product, which one to lead with and why, because it's about the opportunity. We talked about where they can come out with a new line of products and then, you'll have good sales for 1 or 2 months, but the excitement's going to wear off and it'll die off. Okay. Unless you have a cure for cancer, and then it'll have a perpetual lifespan. But the thing is that that's not the case 99.99% of the time. It's going to die off. Why? Because the product cannot carry the company. A product cannot carry your business. Only excitement and momentum can carry it, and that comes from creating opportunities that gives you the opportunity to create the volume and the money that supports the lifestyle you want. That is why we talk about opportunity. Okay. And the opportunity here is gone, right, Miss Marie? Mm-hmm. They can come out with a new product, but that's not an opportunity. Okay. When a company says we're going into a new country and they go into pre-launch mode, because they don't open it one day. They don't say, okay, we're going to a new country. And then here it is Friday. August. What is it? No, today's
20th.
Wednesday.
Friday will be the 20th.
I was thinking over the weekend. This is what I was doing. So I was looking at Wednesday and thinking that's the reason why I looked, and it's like, no, today's not Friday. Today's Wednesday. But my point is, let's say it's Friday. Okay, August what?
20th.
20th. Yeah. Let's say it's Friday, August 20th. And the company says, we're going to open up in Israel on the 21st. The 23rd. You're like, what? You haven't said anything about that. How am I supposed to prep for that? How am I supposed to get into there? No, we're going to start shipping product there first thing Monday morning, just so we let you know. Like, are you kidding me? Well, that's financial suicide by the company. It's also social suicide. And I don't mean like social as far as society. I'm talking about for their downline, their distributor force. That is just, they're going to destroy that whole environment by the mistrust and the misinformation or no information, no communication, whatever term you want to use in this situation. It's going to destroy that. And people are going to say, oh my gosh, if this is the way you're going to operate, I just missed out on a great opportunity. How in the world could you do that to us? Right, Miss Marie?
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to have a pre-launch. Okay. And if they don't have a pre-launch into new countries, you are missing out on big money, big opportunities. Again, opportunity, money, not product. Right, Miss Marie? The product's part of the plan. You got to get product in Israel. Not a problem. We'll do that. But it's about the opportunity. And what is the opportunity? To assemble a team in Israel before the official launch. Right, Miss Marie? That is the opportunity. And then the opportunity turns into the day that we officially open in Israel, everybody order 100 PV. And you've already told them the importance of doing 100 PV per person. They accept that. Everybody goes there, and you have this huge volume explosion overnight. The company experiences new growth and new profits, and so do you. See how it goes hand in hand? See how it works? Well, if you don't have that, if you're not going into Israel or any other country, there is no opportunity. The opportunity is gone. It's dead. It's over with. Time to move on. All right. Miss Marie, how's that? Did we do a good job?
I think so. I think we covered it pretty well.
It made sense, did it not?
I believe so.
Okay. Stay away from limited growth companies, guys. Leave them. Look for another opportunity. Take your downline with you. Make a decision sooner rather than later. You can play the hokey pokey. If you don't know what I mean, go back and put in hokey pokey in our Facebook page or YouTube channel. You'll get that episode. Listen to it. But do the hokey pokey for a limited time. A limited time. Do not drag it out. Make a decision. Move on. Right, Miss Marie?
Yep.
That's the answer to this. All right. With that being said, tomorrow, growth spurts of new networking companies. This is totally different. It does piggyback off of today's episode, but you're going to have certain companies that are going to go through these huge growth spurts and all of a sudden level off, and then all of a sudden, bam, go into another one. What do you do during those lulls? How do you keep your organization together? What do you tell your people? How are you going to keep their confidence up, not only in you, but in the company and the opportunity as well? We'll talk about that and more in tomorrow's show, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, as always. Right, Miss Marie?
Looking forward to it.
Same bad channel, same bad time, as they say, on our YouTube and Facebook. All right. That being said, we're going to hop off here. You got anything to say, Miss Marie, before we go?
Nope. See you tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Eastern.
All right. God bless. Take care. Be safe, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks for listening to today's podcast. Download our podcast on SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, and other podcast platforms. Visit our website at www.themlmsolution.net for additional important information, show details, and past shows. Follow us on Parler, Rumble, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Please hit the like button, the subscribe button, or the get notified button while visiting our other social media platforms.